Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2024 general reading. We are looking at the first half of July, roughly the first couple of weeks, and this reading is for the air sign of Aquarius. I hope everyone's doing well. As always, it's a blessing to be able to be here to do this. You are part of that blessing, so thank you very much for taking the time to watch these videos. So, Aquarius. If your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Aquarius, this video is for you. If you're cross-watching for an Aquarian, this video is also relevant. It's a general reading, so of course it may resonate a little differently for everyone who watches it. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind, as we say. If you know any or all of your sign placements, sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign, watch those as well for any additional insight or perspective it can provide. If something really hits home, if it really resonates with you, and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, or you simply like the reading style, if you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. You can see that contact info also by clicking the description of this video. I'd love to hear from you, and I can usually get back to you with more information the same day or within 24 hours. I do offer a lot of different reading options, a pretty wide variety of them in all areas of life, different types, lengths, budgets, styles, spreads. There's something in there for everyone. And I'm pretty diligent at the timely scheduling of personal readings too. So if you're interested, email me. All right, Aquarius, I am using the Royal Deluxe Tarot, clarifying with the Bosch Tarot. Let's see what's in store for our Aquarians for the first half of July 2024. Okay. We begin with the Five of Coins. Some of you may be having some financial or material difficulties or hardships. A lot of us might be having those, right? This is a card of insufficiency and lack. Now, it can be financial and material, not having enough money, having to kind of having to juggle bills. On an emotional level, it can represent, again, insufficiency and lack, feeling like a beggar, feeling maybe less than or not good enough, rejected, abandoned, out in the cold. But there's a bit of subtle advice in the Five of Pentacles as well. It doesn't show it in the artwork on this deck so much, but other decks it often shows a person or a couple of people outside of the structure, which is symbolic or representative of a church, where on the other side is everything they need. They're out of the weather, there's warmth, food, water, people. So there's a bit of subtle advice in the Five of Coins about asking for help from not just from other people that you know if you're going through these hardships. Again, for some of us, some of you, this can be financial and material hardships, but that always bleeds into our emotional lives as well, feeling less than, feeling like you can't do this or do that or get this or get that because you simply don't have enough. It can represent it kind of hitting your self-esteem. But it also does represent that there may be help or resources available to you, not just from personal people that you know, people that you have a relationship or friendship with or know, but it can also represent that very close to you, there might be programs or agencies or resources or community, something also that is there for help and assistance, particularly for financial and material things, can also represent emotional or mental issues as well. With that, we have the Nine of Cups. I actually really like this combination of cards because while the Five of Coins may represent, going through financial, material, emotional hardship, feeling like you just don't have enough, you just aren't enough, but there may be something you're missing or not seeing or not looking for close to you. The Nine of Cups is our wish granted, wish fulfillment. So this combination of cards can represent that while you may be going through some difficulty and hardship right now, you are well able to push through it and recover from this and recover through it. It's kind of a combination of cards of hardship and challenge, but resiliency and perseverance through that in order to have the things that you want. And again, there's kind of a solid theme here about asking for help, seeking out perhaps help and resources. Again, not just from people you know, but from perhaps organizations, institutions, agencies, programs, that sort of thing. And that can be from financial and material help to emotional and mental help as well. resilience through challenge here. Great. Next, we have the Six of Swords, which is a card of healing and recovery. Slowly but surely putting the worst of it behind you. The waters behind this boat, could you see them more, would be choppy and turbulent and muddy, right? But as you can see, they're moving away from that bit by bit. Not quite to the other shore and on solid ground yet, but definitely headed in the right direction. The worst is behind you. It's a card of recovery and healing. Now, excuse me, as we know, recovery and healing has its up and down days, particularly in the initial stages, right? There's good days, there's bad days, good moments, bad moments. But overall, you're still in a healing period. You're still moving forward, and as long as you keep moving forward, you'll get to that other shore and on solid ground again. With the Six of Swords, we have the Four of Coins, which makes sense because the Four of Coins, it's sometimes nicknamed the miser card, but what does it mean to be miserly? It's a card of being careful. It's a card of economy. It's a card of saving. It's a card of not, spending more than what you need, not want, but need during this time, because it's a card of being careful so that you don't lose anymore. It's kind of our tightening the belt sort of card. And again, there's kind of a subtle form of advice here about, for financial and material issues, kind of tightening the belt, adjusting the budget, taking a look at where your money's going to. I know that it's the challenge is sometimes we make these purchases that are little purchases. We think, oh, it's just a couple bucks here. Oh, it's just, $5 for a latte there. But those things really can add up, and it's kind of astounding how much we spend on those things, in the course of a short period of time. So this is a card of kind of economy, careful, saving, building, being very careful. That's part of this recovery and healing process. Next, we have the Page of Swords, which implies doing the research, doing your due diligence. Pages are kind of the student apprentice energy. They haven't matured enough to the knight stage yet. When they mature to knights, they take what they've learned as pages and go out and begin to do things with it, manifest with it. So pages are learning, they're gathering information, particularly the Page of Swords, because swords is governed by the element of air, which governs our intellectual landscape. So this is our traditional student of the tarot. So it's doing research, gathering information, which is kind of implied in that subtle advice here about seeking help and what else can I do. With the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands is a positive card. It's a card of expansion. It's a card that represents, if you can see here, the two wands planted in the ground behind this person. This represents work that they've already done. It's like doing the homework, laying the groundwork. Like if you were building a house, it's, getting rid of all the junk on the ground, leveling things out, digging for the foundation, pouring the foundation. You haven't built the house yet. You haven't lived there yet, but it's a card of doing the footwork and laying the groundwork for something. So you can see those planted in the ground. The third one, which he's holding on to, you can see is sprouting already. There's life there. There's vines growing. There's green things. It's starting to sprout. So he's taking a pause. He's waiting, and he's watching that ship come in. The implication of your ships coming in. And he's feeling much more hopeful, positive, and optimistic about the future because it's a card of doing the work for future expansion. So these cards together, I typically lay the cards out and kind of interpret them as spirit guides me. And then I pull advice and guidance cards at the end. But to be honest here, it's kind of like the reading itself is saying not only kind of what's going on for many of you, but also what to do about it. As the Page of Swords and the Three of Wands does as well. It's about doing the footwork, gathering information, seeing what resources, what help is available for you. Am I able to take on something else to bring in more money, for example? Or if this is an emotional, mental thing, where can I go to get help? Do I need help? Are there resources that can help me pay this bill or that bill, or, food or groceries? Or how can I save more? If you have a business, how can I expand this business without spending anything, kind of energy. From the bottom of the deck, which makes sense, the overall energy, theme, and focus is strength. which of course strongly implies challenges, but strength is about facing fears, doubts, insecurities, maybe looking at some of the less wise choices we may have made in the past that contributed to certain situations, and going, okay, I'm facing this all. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to walk through it. I'm going to learn everything that I can. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to go, back to bed and cover my head with a blanket, even though I might feel like it. Strength is facing fears, doubts, insecurities, walking through them. It takes true courage, wisdom, humility to do that, especially asking for help. But those are also character traits that you get stronger, that you gain more of, that you become stronger in as you go through this process. It's all about perseverance through challenging, not giving up, and not allowing pride and ego to deny you from either looking for and or accepting help through this period, because there's a lot of recovery through this period, but it's all kind of connected to initiating action, accepting help, being very careful, and doing your due diligence. Let's peel it back just a little bit. Overall energy of strength. Six of Swords, again, that card of healing and recovery through strength and perseverance. Strength isn't necessarily, sometimes strength, having the strength and courage to go through something doesn't necessarily mean the strength and courage to pretend like you're strong, to pretend like you're doing well. Sometimes it can be having the strength and the courage to say, look, I'm struggling, I need help. The Four of Cups. Yeah, the Four of Cups is a card that can represent offers and opportunities, but somebody isn't sure about taking them, or they ignore them because they feel they don't need it, or they don't, I don't. No, I'm fine. I don't need anything, when in fact you do. The Six of Cups. The Six of Cups can, it's a card of nostalgia, often associated with nostalgia and history, but it's also a card of looking at things through rose-colored glasses. But, each card in the tarot is layered with multiple different things. Because another interpretation of the Six of Cups is the giving and receiving in an almost childlike sort of way here. Five of Coins, Nine of Cups. The Five of Pentacles, which is the same as the Five of Coins. Again, it's insufficiency and lack. Someone's in need here. We have the Three of Wands here, which is, again, a positive card of expansion and optimism about the future based on what you do now. And the Nine of Cups again. Interesting, we have the Five of Coins and the Five of Pentacles, which is the same card, twice. And the Nine of Cups twice, right? And the Three of Wands. So lots of echoing cards here, which is always Spirit's way of validating in readings when you use a different deck to clarify with. So again, a very strong, more so than I usually pick up in general readings, very strong, solid, arrows pointing towards asking for help and receiving that help and taking that help. Seven of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles is our nose to the grindstone, working steady, not giving up, doing your due diligence, doing all the things. It's also a card of economy and saving, because you wouldn't have Eight Pentacles from the work that you've done if you haven't put that aside, right? So strong energy about kind of tightening the belt, being more economical, maybe tweaking your budget. Three of Pentacles is a card of learning, growing, perfecting what you do, but it's also a card of compromise and negotiation and working with others. Seven of Wands, not giving up. Strong energy here, Aquarius, about not going through this solo. The High Priestess, the Magician, the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups offers love, support, encouragement, anything they can. The Magician is the manifestor, the entrepreneur of the tarot. This is actively seeking out some kind of help. And again, this is a general reading, so help can come in a lot of different forms. It can be just help from personal people that you know or have relationships with. It can be agencies, resources, programs. If you own your own business or something, it can be looking around at, are there programs that help businesses? How can I expand? Things of that sort. And knowing that you're going to be all right. So any final guidance, advice from Spirit? The Star, renewed, restored hope, faith, and optimism. Based on faith, this is all about putting one foot in front of the other, continuing to do everything that you possibly can, and having faith and knowing, or at least having faith, operating in faith that God, Spirit, angels, and guides, that Spirit is going to meet and match you every step of the way, that ultimately you're going to be taken care of. Because it's the secondary wish fulfillment card, which is the Nine of Cups, and you have that twice here as well. Six of Pentacles, being open, giving and receiving, being more open to that. The Page of Swords, again, doing the research. The Four of Pentacles, again, that card of being careful, kind of, shaving off things where you can. Economy, being careful. I like this reading. It does speak of challenges, hardships, but it also speaks of perseverance and smart strategic thinking and action taking during this time as well, and recovery overall. So I like it. All right, Aquarius, those are your messages for the first half of July. I hope that you found them helpful and useful. And if it resonated with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, or you simply like the reading style, if you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself, as a gift for someone else, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. You can see that contact info by clicking the description of this video. I would be delighted to hear from you and to work with you, should you choose to do so. I will see all of you in a couple of weeks for the July mid-month readings. I do post generals every 2 weeks. Until then, stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.